We want to wish a very happy birthday to Naya, who's turning 4, and Zoey, turning 5. We'll celebrate your child too. Send an email to mornings@fox17online.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is 6:12. Sunrise coming up in about another 30 minutes from now. You can see the skies lightening up just a little bit. There is some wet pavement around Grand Rapids, and especially at points to the north. We've had some showers and thunderstorms in those locations overnight, but that's going to continue to wrap up. Hazy, hot, humid over the next several days here. Heat indices, that's what it feels like. With the temperature and the humidity, it's already warm and muggy out there, but at times today, it's going to feel like it's in the mid, maybe even the upper 90s, and then there'll be more storm chances coming up for tomorrow that we may all get in on. So through the overnight hours, through Ottawa, Kent, Ionia counties northward, in these areas, we had some showers and thunderstorms. Those have moved off over Saginaw, Flint area. Those continues to pull away. And we've just got a few rain showers out there right now. We'll zoom in on some of this. This is already kind of beginning to dry up. But in the areas of green here across Ottawa County, Kent County, Ionia County to the north, there's still some broken, very light showers and sprinkles up there. A little bit heavier, a little steadier pockets of rain up there around Big Rapids. There's no lightning in any of this for us. And you can see those showers and thunderstorms. A pretty well-defined line moving into, through, and east of Flint, and then up here north of Sheboygan. There's more development out over south central portions of Wisconsin, but there's a front that's going to lift to the north, and it's going to push or force all of that precipitation out of the area here over the next few hours. Look at our dew point temperatures. You've heard me say this many times before. The higher the dew point temperature, the more moisture there is in the atmosphere. And when we get dew point temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s, wow, it feels pretty tropical out there. It feels like Florida. It's that moisture in the air. It's one of those days when you could sit in the shade and probably still break of sweat. That's where we're going here over the next several days. There'll be no break in the humidity between now and probably about Thursday night. And then as we get into next week, Friday and Saturday, or later this week, Friday and Saturday, we'll feel a cooler, drier air mass filter in. But these dew point temperatures are going to stay high. Actual air temperatures are 70 degrees or better in a lot of spots. We're as warm as 76 right now in Benton Harbor. It's 72 in Grand Rapids, where we've had some rainfall across our northern counties there. From Fremont to Big Rapids, Mount Pleasant, Alma, we have fallen into the upper 60s. Here's what it looked like 6 hours ago. Some showers, a few thunderstorms rolling through our northern counties. All of this development that you see here is going to lift off to the north and east, so that's going to miss us. You folks that are south of Grand Rapids are seeing clear to partly cloudy skies. You never had any rain down there, and then we're seeing mainly cloudy skies with some light showers from Grand Rapids in the north. We'll eventually move that cloud cover out of here, and I think we'll see at times we may go mostly sunny today, but what I'm thinking is this. Some morning showers, especially from Grand Rapids in the north. We've already seen those. We still got some of those hanging around. Otherwise, we go partly cloudy to partly sunny. For time, there may even be mostly sunny skies there, but the takeaway, it's going to be hot and humid, highs up around 90 degrees, and with the heat index, what it feels like outside, it's going to feel like mid to upper 90s. And if you're going to the lakeshore, that's great. Be very careful if you're going to be swimming, though. From Holland southward, there's a moderate beach hazard risk. That means waves running about 2 to 4 feet. And then from Holland northward, we've got a high beach hazard risk. Waves running about 2 to 4, maybe 3 to 5 feet there, especially on the south sides of piers. Watch out for that. And then we've got small craft advisories that go into effect at 11 o'clock this morning, so through all of the afternoon and the evening hours. So be very careful out there. And we have at least warm water temperatures out there, generally in the low 70s. There's a warm front lifting through the area. Humid conditions continue to build in here over the next several days. I can't rule out a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon. That would be isolated if we saw it. Maybe a shower or thunderstorm overnight. But as the system draws a little bit closer and we get some little disturbances moving on through the area, we'll have a better chance of some shower and thunderstorm activity coming in here for tomorrow, of course, with humid conditions. And then as we go into Tuesday, this map's not showing a whole lot out there. We don't have a severe weather threat for today or tomorrow, but for Tuesday, we're in a slight risk of some severe weather development with some of those storms that could come through and form at that time. 90 degrees today, even higher heat indexes, or heat indices, probably mid to upper 90s. We're in the mid 80s tomorrow with some showers and thunderstorms likely. On Tuesday, 88 degrees, very humid, maybe some showers and thunderstorms there. 88 to 90 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday, and you can see what happens here. The cold front goes through Thursday night, and it'll knock our temperatures temperatures and our humidity down by the time we get into Friday and Saturday. It is now 6:17. Let's head back to Lauren.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. The battle against the COVID-19 pandemic is far from over, according to health officials. Although more people are getting vaccinated, there are still major concerns about the Delta variant, especially as students are returning to school. John Lawrence has the story.
A landmark moment for the United States as 50% of the population is now fully vaccinated. However, the virus is still posing a threat.
We thought that this was getting better, and now we're working as hard, even harder than we did a few months ago.
The U.S. is averaging more than 107,000 new cases per day, the highest it's been in 6 months, based on data from Johns Hopkins University. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's latest ensemble forecast predicts a rise in COVID-19 deaths and hospitalizations over the next 4 weeks. CDC data shows that as of Tuesday, an average of 192 children under 17 were admitted to U.S. hospitals every day over the previous week.
Being a teenager is such an important time in all of our lives, and we've already lost a chunk of that time. And to make sure that we don't lose any more time, and for the help of society and for the help of other people as well, to go get vaccinated.
That's why I got vaccinated.
TikTok influencers now campaigning to get young people vaccinated, as some Americans, now sick with COVID-19, say they regret not getting their shots.
I'm so sorry that I made the mistake to be negligent and not get vaccinated. Vaccinations are so important.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Louisiana has the highest rate of new COVID-19 cases per capita, followed by Florida. That's based on data from state health departments. The Senate voted Saturday to break a filibuster, advancing a massive $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package. 18 GOP senators joined Democrats to shut down debate on the bill. It faces an uncertain future in the House, but senators say they're confident the bill will pass. Although it's unclear just how long that will take, a final vote could come as soon as this weekend or within the next few days. The massive package, called the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, is the culmination of drawn-out negotiations between the bipartisan group of senators and the Biden administration. Republican members still take issue with how the bill might be financed, including redirecting unclaimed COVID-19 relief money. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says senators from both sides of the aisle have a right to express their views on the bill.
The full Senate deserves its full chance to shape this important legislation. Our colleagues on both sides deserve to be heard.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is trying to get the Senate to move quickly on passing the bill. He says he'll keep senators in session until they finish the legislation and send it to the House. The measure features $550 billion in new federal spending over 5 years. It includes funding for roads, bridges, passenger and freight rail, rebuilding the electric grid, expanding broadband internet access, and improving transit systems. It also includes funding for water infrastructure and replacing lead pipes. And Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow tweeting out, "Big news for Michigan. The bipartisan infrastructure plan includes my Make It in America Act to make sure our manufacturers and workers are first in line to provide services and products purchased by the federal government. This is huge for Michigan workers and businesses." More than 1,600 Americans affected by the September 11th terror attacks are asking President Biden to release the government's records. The group sent a letter to the president reminding him of a campaign promise to release documents and information about the 9/11 attack. Some have accused the government of keeping the American people in the dark about Saudi Arabia's role in supporting Osama bin Laden. They also point to the 2018 murder of Jamal Khashoggi and the December 2019 murders of U.S. service members in Pensacola, Florida, as more evidence. The group does not want President Biden to attend the 20th memorial anniversary ceremonies at Ground Zero in New York. If he does not comply on Friday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the president remains committed to his campaign pledge, but needs the DOJ to take final steps. Your time now is 6:21. Still ahead, a whale that found itself beached was well taken care of by an Alaskan community. Just how they helped him. And one of the oldest general stores in the U.S. reopens. We'll show you what all is inside. Well, Welcome back. An orca is swimming free thanks to some good Samaritans in Alaska.
Yeah, they kept the beach animal wet until officials could arrive. CNN Jeannie Mose reports now video of the rescue is floating across social media.
If all it took was inspiration to free a whale.
Come on, I believe in you, Willie. You can do it. You can be free. Come on.
We'd have a movie. But this is a news story about a 13-year-old killer whale that got stuck on rocks and stranded as the tide went out. It happened on the aptly named Prince of Wales Island in Alaska. A couple of vessels reported the stranding to the Coast Guard, which notified National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration officials. And some good Samaritans formed a bucket brigade to keep the whale wet. A stranded whale can get attacked by birds or bears. Its own weight, once on land, can be a threat.
The animal is on its abdomen, right? And so you're putting pressure on the lungs.
The whale kept vocalizing.
Oh, okay.
As the Good Samaritans set up a seawater pump.
We did it.
To shower the whale, believed to be a juvenile female. One woman injured her foot while helping. Wildlife officials arrived and took over. After 6 hours or more stuck on land, the tide came in, the whale was refloated.
The animal was really vocalizing, and it's how they communicate and maybe calling out to their pod.
She meandered around, then headed out to sea. Okay. So there was no Free Willy moment. But she did get showered with tender, loving care.
There's actually an inside joke with my kids. I always say, we want to watch a family movie, and I always say, when I do Free Willy, no! And free, that's the joke. But, you know, it just isn't right in nature to see something that size beach that cannot help itself.
I know.
And it's awesome that they were able to help it out. The tide came back in, and nature went on about its way. That was awesome.
I love seeing good stories like that with people helping animals. I just love that.
Well, you might like this one because here's another animal story. Listen closely, guys. The Sierra County California Sheriff's Department doesn't have a bear unit like they do with a canine unit, but maybe one bear was trying to offer himself as a possible recruit.
Yeah, a bear decided to check out a car belonging to a Sierra County Sheriff's Office communication and correction worker. The car was parked in the county courthouse parking lot. A security camera shows the bear opening a rear car door, as you can see here. On June 6th, this happened. Apparently, nothing of interest made the bear stay around. An officer using the vehicle later found the door ajar and a light on inside. The officer knew the door hadn't been left open, and she decided to check security video and then saw the bear.
There's got to be a whole slew of jokes there. I can't think of one right now other than he wanted to get in that car and participate as a sheriff's department.
I've seen so many videos recently of bears getting into cars, and I wonder what it is about car doors that attracts them.
I don't know, but I think they're just being forced out of their natural habitat.
Yeah.
We're building houses, and we're urbanizing all those places, and they don't have, or they have limited spaces to go.
That's
and they
true.
come down, and we're seeing more and more of those things.
That's true.
Yeah. Well,
one of the oldest general stores in the U.S. is open again with a new owner.
This reminds me of something out of the Old West, but it's not the Old West. DeVol's General Store has sat in coastal Dartmouth, Massachusetts for 228 years. Wow. After some renovations, it's back to selling hand-dipped candles, eggs, produce, and similar items. It also offers draft beer at its cafe and poetry from its independent bookstore, DeVol's. That's DAVOLLS. In case you want to check out that general store, 228 years. Wow.
Wow, that's
a little
impressive.
older than me.
Yeah, I just love it. That's so impressive, though, to have a store open that long. It's definitely an experience to shop there.
Well, when I think of general store, I think of the general stores on Little House on the Prairie, something like that. They just came out in the 1800s, and they just go on and on and on, and that's awesome that they can stay in business that long.
If you're ever
and
in
adapt
Massachusetts.
to the changing
and
time.
adapt, absolutely. Well, your time now is 6:29, still ahead.
My mother brought me here once, and I have ancestors that are buried in here. In fact, almost all of them that are in there, I can connect to my family.
History buffs in the Hudsonville area are restoring a gift honoring a local man for his service in the War of 1812. Just how that effort reunites the community with their ancestors. Don't forget to follow the morning team on Twitter and Facebook. Here are some photos I took yesterday. If you were watching yesterday, I said I was headed to the beach and I followed through with it. I went to South Haven with a couple of friends and it was a lot of fun.
Yes, sorry, I can't do that. I've got something going on today. I'm going to spill the beans. You said you're going back to the lakeshore today. You're going to hang out in Saugatuck today.
I am. We're headed for brunch in Saugatuck. I feel like that will be another good day by the lakeshore. I love being by the lake, so.
I do too. I'm
nice.
A huge lake beach fan and boating guy, and that's why I always say I've said many times I'm probably going to retire down in Florida because I like the hot weather. I don't mind it. I mean, sometimes the humidity gets to be a bit much, but I like the beach, the ocean. I want to be able to go for that walk at sunset or at sunrise on the beach or sit there in the middle of the night and just listen to the tide roll in.
Oh, it sounds nice.
So, yeah, that's something you can look forward to in another 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
It'll take some time for you to get there. I'm a little bit closer than that. But, hey, Lauren, let's get to the weather forecast. Thank you very much. And good morning, everybody. Our sunrise not up yet. We've got a few more minutes with that. We've got some wet pavement out there around Grand Rapids, and it already is starting to lighten up a little bit. It's going to be a hazy, hot, and humid day. And this streak or this stretch of this kind of weather is going to stay with us for the better part of the week. Now, we had some showers, a couple of thunderstorms through the overnight hours into early this morning, but look at this. A lot of this has cleared out. We're going to move into the northern counties, and you can see a lot of this rain is breaking up. It's very light stuff here now. And there's a lot of holes that are developing in this, but there are a couple of sprinkles, some light showers. And as we pull out to a wider perspective, there's more development of thunderstorm activity here, but it is not coming east our way. There's a low pressure system out here, and there's a southerly wind, and there's a warm front that's going to lift like this. So all of this is going to be directed and deflected up to the north and east. So that's where all of this is going. I can't rule out a shower or a rumble of thunder this afternoon, but most of us, like I said yesterday, most of us during the afternoon are going to miss out on that. But we still have a few lingering light showers and sprinkles from Grand Rapids to the north early this morning, but that's going to continue to wrap up. With lots of moisture in the atmosphere, haze, fog, call it whatever you want there. It's muggy outside. We have perfect visibility there in Fremont, Muskegon, Holland, South Haven, but reduced visibilities inland, so watch out for some of that fog. We have temperatures as warm as 76 in Benton Harbor, 72 in Kalamazoo, 72 in Grand Rapids, and we're 66 up there in Big Rapids. We're already in the 80s by noon. Breaking out into mostly sunny to partly cloudy, maybe at times partly sunny skies. We shoot for highs around 90, but with the heat index, what it feels when you take all that humidity and you combine it with the temperature, there's a magical formula that's done meteorologically, and it gives you something called a heat index. It will feel like it's well into the 90s today, and that trend is kind of going to be with us over the next several days. So keep the AC running. We'll talk more forecast details coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, let's see if there's anything that you need to know about that's going on the roadways on this Sunday morning. Here's Rob Westaby.
Fox 17 traffic, your Sunday morning. A lot of these weekend lane closures, such as the ones on M6, are still there between Kalamazoo and M37 through tomorrow morning. There's a new development in Norton Shores in that project that has closed parts of Seminole Road. Well, up until now, it's been the eastbound side that has been closed. Now, eastbound traffic will be allowed, but only using the westbound pavement, which is going to seem strange to you. The westbound side, you're going to have to use the detour. Westbound will be closed, and you'll go on Seaway Drive to Norton and Henry to get back to Seminole. This will continue for several weeks. I'm Rob Westaby, Fox 17 Traffic.
Thanks, Rob. A Hudsonville cemetery more than a century old is being painstakingly uncovered and documented by a group of local history buffs, some with personal ties to the people resting there. Our Michael Martin has the story.
Just up this muddy, slightly overgrown hill here in Hudsonville is a cemetery rarely touched by human hands within the last 100 years. But now a group of people working to clean it up, restore it, and shed light on this little corner of almost forgotten local history.
So we think this was an original path where it was cleaned out one of the times, so we've created a path.
Walk no more than 100 feet into the woods off Berry Street in Hudsonville, and you will slowly feel the chains of time fall off. As you tiptoe around tombstones that date back nearly 200 years, the Shack Huddle Cemetery reminds you just how recently your ancestors walked the same ground as you do now.
Stop and read as you pass by. As you are now, so once was I. As I am now, so you must be. Prepare for death and follow me.
This reminder of our own mortality found on the grave of Abijah Edson.
Everybody that is aware of this tombstone loves this one because of the saying on it.
Edson was granted this plot of land back in the 1850s by the United States government for his service in the War of 1812. And he is the catalyst that has brought this group of local historians out here to restore the cemetery.
I went to the Hudsonville Library and they have a history room.
And hanging on the wall of that history room was this land grant signed by our 14th president, Franklin Pierce.
It was land that was given to Abijah Edson, a volunteer for the War of 1812. So, as gratitude, he was granted some land here in Hudsonville. And so that's what this document just states.
Steve LATCHAW would soon discover that there was a cemetery somewhere on Edson's property, leading him to meet up and team up with Sherry Fuss.
My mother brought me here once, and I have ancestors that are buried in here. In fact, almost all of them that are in there I can connect to my family. And so I wanted to find the grave of my 3 times great-grandmother, Polly McCoy.
Going off whatever scarce records they could dig up, they began the delicate process documenting what remained on the property.
This is Polly.
She found her 3 times great-grandmother's resting place just last week.
I had an image of Polly McCoy's tombstone, and I knew it was about in front of a tree like that, but that was back in 1986. Today I have found Polly McCoy.
From there, the group has worked to locate and begin uncovering the rest of the tombstones.
We don't want to move any at this point or use any chemicals on them. We're just using water to try to read them. We want to move the brush out of here, the logs out of here, get all this out of here. There could be stones under here, we don't know.
Some of them have had pieces visible above the ground. Others have been found only through carefully poking the soft ground.
We've been using this orange sticks to do some tapping. My husband came out and tapped, and that's how we found some of the stones.
The group is sharing the process via a Facebook page they started and have community cleanup days planned in coming weeks to continue the process of uncovering a piece of West Michigan history.
The condition is so poor that we can't even tell if the stones were in their original place. So, but I'm going to map every single stone so we know where it is right now. So we have a beginning point, and soon I hope we have an end point.
Now the project is just getting underway at this point, but if you want to follow along with the journey or perhaps help yourself, we've got links on our website to a Facebook page where the whole thing is being documented. For now, in Hudsonville, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
Michael, thank you. The group does have 2 community cleanup days planned this month. We have information on how you can take part on our website, fox17online.com. Confluence Festival also announced its lineup for this fall. It features local and national artists specializing in music, art, and technology. Visitors can attend a thought series on health and wellness, the Innovation Showcase presenting minority tech startup, and a number of kid-friendly maker expos. All of Confluence performances are completely free and open to the public. Your time now is 6:41. Still ahead, in today's We're Open segment, we'll take a look at how a local lighting store is making sure you get the best prices.
Lauren, you were in South Haven yesterday on the beach, and here's a live shot this morning. The tractor is out there. They are going to be combing over the beach and smoothing everything out, ready for this morning's and today's crowd, because it's going to be hot and humid. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up next. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday morning at 6:44. Sunrise just came up a few minutes ago at 6:41. We have some cloud cover around, even a couple of rain showers. Very light stuff now from Grand Rapids off to the north. You've got more clear to partly cloudy skies south of Grand Rapids, but here's a look at the live webcam shots there. And here is a look at radar. Your attention is probably immediately drawn to the right side of your television screen here. Pretty line of some heavy rain and some good thunderstorm activity moving away from our area. There's not much going on over our area now. A couple of black